welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Doing pretty good, dude. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. A Thursday following a late night Ranger win. So we're excited about that. One thing I did want to start with, Tony, is, we were discussing this in length yesterday. I did end up, and I was texting you guys last night, making my return to the basketball court at LA Fitness last night.
Oh, dude. How many people were there?
So I want to say there was probably 20 people on the court at the peak. But the thing was, for whatever reason, which I'm fine with, because sometimes fives, you get lost in fives. It's, you don't get your shots. It's just kind of too much. So we started out with a couple games of threes, actually, on one side of the court, half court, obviously. Definitely some rust. It was funny warming up. I mean, I literally must have missed, I want to say, my first 20 shots. Mostly 3-pointers, but then I got into a groove. That was just shooting around, warming up. So we get 3-on-3 going. So kind of, what you would expect. A few 3-pointers, couple feet behind the line. That type of situation. As well as some posts, the putbacks, a couple. Miss your own layup, like we were talking about yesterday. Get the rebound, put it back up. But I have to say, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. I mean, that really is my favorite type of basketball. I mean, of course, I like fives, and I think fives is great, if we have like the five of us playing. But it's just tough when you're playing with random people because guys, you've seen it, Tony, where it's just like head down, they don't look to pass, or you miss one shot.
And you never has the ball
done,
again. Yeah,
done. Not even under consideration.
Yeah.
What's your thought there? I mean, you kind of agree with like the threes being the best, the twos, the threes being the best, unless you have your starting five?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I think it kind of really depends, honestly, who you're playing with, even for threes and fours and twos and whatever, dude. Because I've played threes sometimes too, where there's still like there's one kid.
Yeah, just head down.
So it's like it still is. It could be tough as long as you play with a good crew. You have a good time, and but I do agree. I think even with your whole crew, I would prefer to run threes just because there's more movement, quicker. It's just like quicker pace.
And I know it's kind of like almost a cop-out situation, but just energy-wise too, playing 3-on-3, I feel like you take better shots because you're not, worn out from running the full length of the court the whole game.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think, once you get into playing more, you get back used to it, then it's not as big of a deal. But I think the whole thing is, we want to be involved. That's definitely the key. But overall, I think given the lengthy layoff, I was, pretty happy with, what I brought to the table in terms of my performance. Definitely some stuff to work on. We were talking about this before the show. Typically, I could, especially half-court basketball, I'm not going to be that sore, and I could play for a couple hours if I needed to. But today, woke up, so sore, stiff neck area, just general soreness. Didn't have my basketball shoes on, which could have been part of it. But sometimes running shoes, but comfy ones. But sometimes actually basketball shoes, my feet would be more sore, just because usually more narrow. I feel like you probably have experienced the same thing.
Dude. Do we stretch, Brian?
Oh, Tony. I mean, wouldn't be a bad idea, but just not in the purview, at this very moment. And I was telling you too that I would love to, go back out there today. I just don't know if I have it in me. And then also though, which kind of leads into our next topic here. Tiger, at the Genesis today, 3:04 Eastern tee time. So even if I skip the gym, I mean, I think I'll get 3/4 to half of his round in, and I'm really, looking forward to that. And there's something on ESPN Plus where I can watch just his group, which is JT, Rory, and Tiger. Just their round the whole time. I mean, how do you beat that? So I'm kind of torn here. So I guess we'll have to see what happens. I mean, obviously, too, if the court ends up being too packed, could always watch the golf coverage on my phone on the elliptical. But I'm really excited for this Genesis Invitational. Before actually we get to a leaderboard update, though, I have to say though, like I am so pumped. And I think too, once we can, figure out the schedule with all of us, it's gonna be legendary 2-on-2 series, Matthew against you and Michael.
Oh yeah,
That is gonna get crazy.
Oh man.
So we'll have to sort that out with Matt.
Yeah, I think so.
But
dude.
can you see that being a ton of fun? Like,
oh my god, literally, yeah, a ton of fun, dude.
And then 2-on-2. I feel like it's obviously you're still very involved, but at the same time, I feel like it's just a slight like break in terms of the amount of energy you have to exert, so you could kind of play better, play longer, type of thing.
And 2-on-2, you think?
Yeah, versus 1-on-1.
Oh, 1-on-1, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And I would say probably honestly, growing up, middle school, high school years, 2-on-2, we did a ton of that. Honestly, it was great. And do you think it would get pretty like heated almost, Tony? Some tight series between the four of us. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, we're competitive people.
Everybody wants to win, right?
Yeah, I mean nobody wants to lose, Brian.
A couple comments, Tony.
Yeah. Preferred check it in here. Says, hey fellas, Barnes is tough in basketball. Matthew says, El hombres. And then Prefer says, if I played Barnes, I would tug on his shorts and would not shower for a month.
Is that supposed to be funny?
Yeah, I guess so. So do trash talks too. And then Jay Bird wants in.
Yeah,
I mean, Jay Bird can get in there. He can rotate maybe.
Yeah, and if we're gonna do a full 5, he's the 5th.
Yeah, that's true. He can be our 5th.
But also,
not water boy.
If not everybody's available for the 2-on-2. I mean, if we only need 4, so one person can't make it, Jay comes in, done,
dude. Jay maybe refs, maybe.
Yeah, and rotate in.
Yeah, of course.
But
dude.
it's gonna be great stuff. So it was nice to do that, and then you finish it off with the sauna after. You really can't beat it. You really, really can't beat it.
What's your water intake like on one of these days?
So honestly,
you walk in with a cup of coffee.
No.
Really lay down like the vibe, dude.
Coffee at the gym?
Yeah.
No. Maybe a Yeti while I'm playing of water, and then one during the sauna, and then one after the sauna.
Okay.
So that's 332 ounces.
Water fountain in the gym?
Water fountain in the
court.
gym. But there's that one good fountain with the filter. The other ones are sketchy. And then like the locker room water fountain is always disgusting.
Ew.
Oh. But yeah, so just wanted to share that. Nothing, especially exercise wise, you really can't beat basketball. And it's just is amazing too how long it's been since all of us have been on the court together. Obviously, over the last year and a half or so, me and you have had a couple one-on-one games, but we haven't since that one time. I want to say over 2 years ago.
Oh my god, it must have been over 2 years ago,
because it was when I was new in the game, Tony. And
where did we even play then?
Norwalk.
It was in Norwalk, some gym in Newark
or something. Yeah,
that was fun as hell, dude.
I know. Jay wasn't there for that, right? It was your friend Andy and maybe Harrison.
I think Harrison. Andy and Harrison came, I think.
Okay, yeah. So, looking forward to that for sure. And I was mentioning watching the Genesis later. Just about, I want to say 9:40 Eastern time. We got underway. So of course, very early on here in the going, but we have let's see, 6 guys at -1. All have only played one hole, but a lot of birdies on one. Russell Knox, Peter Molinati, Doc Redmond, Kramer Hickok, Christian Bezenhut, Hayden Buckley, the 6 guys who were able to get a birdie on number 1. You think about that famous, elevated tee they're on one, kind of iconic. So it'll be very exciting to see, Tiger tee it up from there, a little after 3 Eastern, in the ovation that he'll get from the fans there at Riviera. That is going to be absolutely something. So I'm really stoked for that. And then the fact too, I mean, I was listening to a lot of PGA Tour radio between yesterday and today. A lot of talk about how they think it's going to really be helpful for Tiger for his comfort level, performance. The fact that 2 of his best friends on the tour, JT and Rory, playing 18 with him the next 2 days, that can only help.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, again, like you think about his injury. I mean, I feel like just him playing and getting loosened up, like I feel like it's gonna help his actual tournament play. No?
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's a lot of talk too. You think about Alex Smith, who was Chiefs and 49ers and Washington to finish up his career. The injury he had, that's what the comparison a caller was making on PGA Tour Radio, where he was able to come back, almost lost his leg. It's a contact sport. So for Tiger to play golf, he has a better chance of success in that, being that he doesn't have to worry about contact. And then also the fact too that he did play the pro-am yesterday. So that shows the confidence that he has that wouldn't hinder or set him back for this weekend for 4 holes of, 4 days of walking 18 holes. So it just seems like too, he doesn't play unless he's confident, he has a chance to win. So, I think especially day one is very key, though. We talked about this and they were talking about it too. Michael Breed, who actually I think he was instructor of the year last year, he was saying, the whole key is avoiding the blow up holes, no double bogeys, staying within himself. And they're saying this course specifically, it's a second shot golf course, where, the fairways are pretty wide open, might tighten up a little by the green. And he's always had a really good short game. So I think that bodes well for him.
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, getting pretty pumped just hearing you talk about it.
What's your schedule later on? Do we have a window
today?
Yeah, class
game.
Okay, so no window.
Like 3 to 10:30.
3 to 10:30.
Yeah.
Wow. Men's basketball.
Men's basketball today. Yeah.
William Pitt Center.
At the William H. Pitt Center, dude.
Over under normal attendance of 150.
What?
150 people?
No.
Well, under 50?
I think I would give him 50.
Wow, that's
know,
tough.
I wonder who they're playing today.
Is the team any good? Like given like their conference or no?
I mean, we can look them up and see where they're at in conference. Men's basketball.
ESPN. Go to ESPN.
It's easier. Dude, come on.
You got to put Sacred Heart, the shoe. Yeah, because they're gonna say Seton Hall. You just put Sacred Heart.
All right.
Trying to take the shortcut, the easy way, Tony.
God forbid, Sacred Heart. Probably needs basketball. Well, I can't believe they're actually on ESPN, dude. They just beat Hartford. Wow, 77-70, dude.
We'll go up a sec. What's the record?
13-14. They're 4th in the NFC, which probably in the NFC probably.
See, we got the standings here. So go down a little bit. On the right side, it has it. Okay, so 6-6
in conference play.
I mean, it's gonna be. They got to basically win the conference tournament to have a chance at the postseason, pretty much.
Yes, and today they're gonna be playing Fairleigh Dickinson.
Let's see, Fairleigh Dickinson. They've
from
been
New Jersey. They're 8-4 in the conference, 15-12 overall.
And they've been in the tournament. In the last 5 years, they've made it a couple times. So. I mean, not an easy matchup. And, maybe if Sacred Heart was able to get to the NEC conference tournament final,
watch out for Dimitri Roberts.
They could, have a chance to play in the NIT or the CBI, some of the lesser tournaments. CIT, I think, is another one. But definitely some work to do. But Nico Gillette, 15.9 points per game.
Yeah, he's all right, dude. I feel like for me, he's got like an attitude problem.
Oh, have you talked to him personally?
I actually have, yeah.
I've
interviewed him before, yeah.
Do we have like a clip of it that we could?
I would have to go to the website. I don't even know, dude.
That would be hilarious, Tony.
Let's see if it's. I don't know. Sacred Heart. Pioneers men's basketball. Sacred Heart official athletics website, dude. Oh man, view the archives, huh? Oh no, these are news articles. Pioneer videos. Oh yeah, no, this is all from this year.
Oh, so it's not you interviewed him last year?
Yeah.
Ah, man. Well, maybe today too, while you're on campus, you could figure out a way to get that file, Tony.
Oh, yeah, I could probably ask around, dude. It's somewhere. It's living
but
somewhere.
but
dude.
literally like the attitude of like, oh, I'm gonna like play in the NBA, like I'm nasty or no?
Yeah, I think so, dude.
But he's not.
I'm a bigger Bryce Johnson fan.
Bryce Johnson
Works hard, head down, doesn't
senior.
I think he's a junior, dude.
Click on it.
Where Bryce Johnson? Junior.
Yeah. Okay. So chance to kind of take over the team lead. Is Nico a senior?
I don't think so either. I think they're all really young. Yeah, junior too.
Junior. Okay. I mean, the numbers are there. Does he shoot from 3 or no?
Yeah, he does. I believe Raymond too is pretty solid.
Raymond's sophomore.
He was, I think, a highlighted player the other day.
Highlighted player.
Yeah, like this is like he's been doing really well.
Interesting.
So I don't know. We'll see, dude. If I had my money, I'd probably put it on Fairleigh Dickinson.
And it's funny too. Actually, just go to the line. What do we got for the line
of the game?
It'll go up. It's on the. Oh,
it was up there.
Oh, never mind. It's basketball. These NBA they listed up there, but just go. All right, yeah, go down.
Dude, tickets as low as $8
for the William Pitt Center. You click on 7.
-2.
Down.
Sacred Heart -2.
Sacred Heart -2. Total 155. Are they really scoring that many points? I don't know.
155.
So your official pick is Fairleigh +2.
Yeah.
Wow. Give me the Pioneers.
Are you serious? All right, fine. Let's do it, dude. Let's go.
Yeah. Well,
why they're really saying Sacred Heart? Definitely, dude. Why?
And I just thought of this too. A couple of things actually. Just
is someone hurt that I don't know about?
No, but Sacred Heart has a 67% chance to win.
I know, but as I'm saying, is someone hurt? Like
on Fairleigh. It's weird. College, they don't do a good job of listing injuries.
Yeah, they really, obviously, especially like I'm sure something like this. Sacred Heart. I mean, how many people are probably looking up this game right now? Probably just you and I.
Yeah, probably. But a good game actually from yesterday. It was kind of an interesting broadcasting pair. I watched, I guess the first half, and then I was more watching the Blackhawks game after that. But between number 1 Alabama and the University of Tennessee, it was one of those things, automatic trap games. So Tennessee comes in. I think they had lost 4 out of 5. Number 10, but Alabama 2 losses, undefeated conference play, and Tennessee home. But Alabama was like +3. They have 2 losses all year. Number 1 team in the country. Of course, Tennessee wins, covers. No, but it's just kind of interesting. You know, the Alabama, they hadn't been number 1 in like almost 30 years. Of course, first game is number 1, they lose. But SEC, tough conference, and obviously they're still going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I thought that was interesting. And then I do have, we'll have to keep this in mind bracket time. And I'm not saying that, there's somebody like, oh, watch out for them to pull like a Sister Jean to get to the Final Four. But I do like FS1 usually has late night. They're usually the Mountain West Conference games.
Right.
Boise State. Now, I know it was only a 2-point victory last night. But I've watched a bunch of their games. Right now, 20-6. So that was their 20th win last night. 10-3 in the Mountain West Conference. A lot of talent on that team. They play well together. Last night you had 4 guys scoring at least 15 points. And the guy that I was impressed with the most here was I think it's Tyler Degenhart. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 or 4 from 3-point range. They shot 38%, which is pretty good. But they just play together well. And I think, coming from the Mountain West, Tony, I mean, what do they get? They're probably going to be a double-digit seed. And I'm telling you, first round team that plays together, they get matched up with a mediocre SEC team. I'm telling you, they're going to go somewhere. And Degenhart, it's Tyson Degenhart, but he's only a sophomore. And I'm just telling you, there's playmakers on that team. So when we fill out our bracket, and I know it'll be tough not to have a UConn win for the 3rd year in a row, but clearly hasn't worked out the best for us the last couple of years. But I mean, this team, of course, is better. But Boise State, I think, is a team to keep in mind. And I've always liked that school. Going back to when they were really good at
Boise State?
football. Yeah, that upset against Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, the Statue of Liberty play, in their colors, the blue field for football. I always liked here. And then one other guy, he didn't have a great game last night, but Max Rice, someone to watch out for, 41% from 3-point range for them, 13.4 points per game. So just something to keep in mind there for a sleeper team, maybe even as far as a Sweet 16. Just because, like I said, I think they're one of those, high quality mid majors that are going to get overlooked. So they got 4 games left, the rest, or no, 5 games left the rest of the way. UNLV, New Mexico, San Jose State, San Diego State, which should be a really good one. They're number 21, and then finishing up with Utah State before we get underway there in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. I know Tony is beaming just thinking about it.
Beaming, Brian, over here.
We're going to get you there.
Yeah, dude.
So I think last year Providence made Sweet 16. Just based on what I'm saying, though, do we think they're able to match that this year? Is there a potential to make an Elite 8? Cooley firsthand. I mean, what do you think here?
I say Sweet 16 again.
Which would be, back-to-back Sweet 16 appearances. I know for, other schools that are looking for titles every year wouldn't be necessarily the best. But for Providence, let me tell you, that would be quite the accomplishment.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. A back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, sayonara. Where did that land?
Stuck to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
All right. So a couple of things, mainly injury news from yesterday, and we'll start with the one that hits closest to home. And I honestly think it's a blessing in disguise. But Frankie Montas, they had announced you're always going to miss the first month or two behind in his recovery from a shoulder injury. They said it best case scenario, he'll be back late in the season. So expected to miss most of the season, I guess you could say. But he's scheduled to undergo shoulder surgery next week. And quoting manager Aaron Boone, best case he would be back late in the season. Only made, I think, 8 starts last year. So that's crazy, dude. This goes down in like the Carl Pavano territory, Tony, where you gave up JP Sears, who had performed well for you, performed well with Oakland last year, and Ken Waldichuk, stormed through your minor league system, and was kind of hit and miss once he got elevated to Oakland. But obviously, we know what they're dealing with there in terms of talent, and it's just you gave away those valuable chips, and not to mention Luis Medina, who a couple years ago was really expected to be a potential ace in the future. Give all that, Frankie Montas will be a free agent next year. Best case scenario, you get him back down the stretch, but it's like by that point, I think roles are going to be established. You're not even going to want him to pitch for the team. And I know, Domingo Germán, he's made a decent amount of starts the last couple of years. So that's a plug and play option. And of course, Clark Schmidt is an option too. I don't know. He hasn't impressed me just yet. Of course, being a guy that was, a former first round draft pick out of South Carolina, been with the Yankee system a while. I would love to see him succeed. I just don't know if he's a starter, if he's a reliever. He kind of seems a little behind in his development. I know these college players are older when they come over. So that's just something to keep in mind. But you look at Domingo Germán, back in 2019, 18-4, 4.03, which is pretty solid, especially, a guy you're going to expect to be your 5 starter. Didn't pitch in 2020. And then 2021, he made 18 starts, 4-5, 4.58. And then last year, 14 starts, 2-5, 3.61. I think it was last year where we saw him go deep into a game against Boston, almost get a no-hitter. But up and down performance, it's been decent at times. He'll turn 31 this season. But, so I think between him and Schmidt, you let them battle it out. Hopefully Nestor's, available for opening day. But what are your thoughts, Tony? Let's assume Nestor's ready for his first start of the season. Do you favor having Herman as the fifth starter or Clark Schmidt?
That's a good question. I want to go Clark Schmidt. I feel like I've seen a lot more tape on Herman than Clark Schmidt, and honestly, what I've seen from Herman like isn't really that great. I feel.
Is it like Trevor Williams territory or a little better than that?
Oh wow. I think it's a little better than that for sure, but I just feel like I don't know. Whenever I've seen him in games, and he's just like leaving balls over the middle of the plate, struggling with some location. It seems. I don't know. To me, I just see an inconsistency in his location.
You got Clark Schmidt. He's only pitched 17 innings in the majors, 57.2 last year, 3.12, mostly out of the bullpen. 29 appearances, 3 starts, almost a strikeout per inning, 5 homers over 57 innings. So I guess not a terrible rate there. And it's funny, his numbers actually seem better than I thought he pitched. So I guess, that he kind of has more upside. He was a 2017 16th overall draft pick, like I said, out of South Carolina.
Gamecock.
Actually, his birthday is
February 20th, 4 days away.
Yeah, 4 days away. So let's see how he pitches. And I think obviously if he's lights out in the spring, they'll give him that fifth starter.
Yeah.
Herman can always pitch out of the pen. Now, let's say, Nestor, this thing isn't long term, either, misses 1 or 2 starts or starts the season in the rotation. Any cause for concern here in terms of needing to bring in a reinforcement? Or do you think, there's enough there internally, Tony, to get by with, with this Montas injury?
I think with Frankie out, I think there's enough to kind of just stand by. Yeah.
And it's a shame too. I mean, the Clayton Beater, the guy they got from the Dodgers, for Joey Gallo, pitched well, but I think he only made it up to Double-A. He's your only like big time pitching prospect that's anywhere near the majors. So that's a tough thing. Like you need these guys to work. Obviously,
right.
You could always sign a veteran. You could always trade for somebody. But I think too, they might take the approach. Let's try to get by with Clark and Herman.
Yeah,
but also, midway through spring training, let's say that one of them gets injured or isn't performing well, then I could see them, signing, trading for somebody. Maybe Beater gets a shot or somebody like Devi Garcia. But I just think with Devi, I mean, if he didn't have it now, is he really ever going to have it,
Yeah, man, I think it's over for Devi.
And another dark horse too, and I want to see where he's at, with his, recovering from Tommy John, is Luis Gil, Tony. Really was lights out, at times, when he pitched, and then last year early, was it even okay? Yeah, he pitched 1 game, and then he had to get Tommy John.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine, but I would usually it's like 16 months, right? So maybe around the All-Star break he'll return. I tried just Googling him quickly.
Nothing.
I didn't go to the news tab.
1 hour ago. Interesting. This talks about Frankie.
They're saying another season
for Luis Gil.
Yeah, that he'll miss.
Expected to miss. Let's see. Hold on.
It says
Montas.
reliever Scott Efros and starting prospect Luis Gil are expected to be signed for the entire season.
Wow.
It's like, how does he need that much time?
Luis Severino. Yeah, it's so crazy.
They're mentioning a sleeper candidate to make the roster, Jimmy Cordero, 2.75 ERA, 30 games with the White Sox last year. To maybe make the team out of the bullpen. So 31 years old, 4.55 ERA. I'm just trying to see anybody else that I'm familiar with here. I guess not really.
Matt Crook, Randy Vasquez.
I haven't heard of those guys.
Or maybe Devi Garcia. Remember him?
But like I was just saying, Devi.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
over, dude.
But and Ryan Weber made a handful of starts and he got a non-roster invite. And then just looking who else they list. It's really Vasquez, Brito. So it'll be interesting to see. So I mean, but what do you think though in terms of Tony, like a blessing in disguise? Like I said, like we know Montas didn't look good with the Yankees last year. We know the track record of PED guys. I mean, do you think they were almost better off not having them go 0-5 between April and May? Struggling.
I guess, dude. I mean, either way, I feel like there's going to be struggling with whoever is going to be, I guess, kind of in there replacing him, whether it's going to be a younger guy.
Thought you're a big Clark guy.
Have to use Clark Schmidt. I mean, there's going to be some adjustment periods, I'm sure. Maybe in the long run, Clark Schmidt will be better off than Frankie. I could see that. But there's going to be some clunkers, I think, regardless. I mean, you're not really, there's something that I guess kind of took you a little bit by surprise, I suppose. You weren't really planning on this. So, I mean, guys are going to have to move around, trying out some new stuff, bringing up players you thought you would have to bring up, maybe a little bit sooner than you thought, right? So, I don't know. But I'm hopeful for Clark Schmidt. I really am.
Yeah. No, that would
Definitely,
be something
dude.
nice. Yankees haven't developed a starter in a while.
Yeah.
I guess
Definitely,
since
dude.
Louis. And then really the other, big news yesterday, used to hit close to home, but now he has switched teams. Jacob deGrom delayed a day or two with right side soreness. Does that seem like deja vu? Quoting Yogi all over again, Tony. Do you think that it's going to be the same thing that we've seen the last couple of years where here we go, MRI tube, out a month, which turns into 3, and then when he comes back, he gets injured again? I mean, are we doing the same song and dance in 2023 here?
I mean, it kind of seems like it, doesn't it, Brian? I mean, you're not really starting off to the right foot here, for the Rangers. And I would certainly say Mets fans are kind of laughing a little bit at this because it's like what the hell is going on, dude?
And it's I think he's superstitious or something. But Evan Roberts, from Carton and Roberts, was saying that any Met fan that is excited about this news should be ashamed of themselves, and you don't do that because then it's something you're going to have an injury like that, it's going to come back to bite. Do you think that comment?
Who's that guy?
Evan Roberts.
Sounds like a fucking loser, dude.
Diehard Met fan, so I guess so, right?
No, not at all, dude.
You just said he was a loser.
Not because he's a Met fan, because of what he said, dude.
Wow,
you're the loser,
you
Brian.
Tight, dude?
You're the loser.
I think this will get you more tight, and I
think
suggested
you're
this before,
the loser, dude.
But BT, Brandon Tierney, Tiki and Tierney, middays WFAN, was saying that because there was some video, I don't know if you saw it, of Gary Sanchez working out Yankee uniform,
really?
Yankee, apparel, doing a home workout, posted it or whatever. He was just trying to sell Tiki on him going to the Mets. Familiar with the area, 1 or 2 times a week, hit a couple bombs, and then Tiki was just basically are you kidding me?
Stupid.
Why would they bring him in? Alvarez, but he was set on it. He thinks, in limited duty that Gary Sanchez could provide some pop for the Mets.
Well, he probably got more pop than an IKF or something like that.
Yeah, IKF, Tony. Come on. But would you even hate a non-roster invite to spring training for Sanchez?
I guess not.
No commitment.
I mean, no commitment. So,
what would it have to take you for him to start the opening day roster? What would you need to see in the spring?
A home run a game,
at
least,
MVP of spring training.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be something if he actually did that. You'd think he's motivated.
I guess.
But what if just to kind of wrap up this baseball talk, Tony, with Sanchez, what do you think the number one thing that caused his demise was?
That's a good question, I guess.
Because we saw him burst on the scene, 20 home runs in 80 games in 2000.
I feel like it was maybe his defense.
16 defense,
the shitty defense. And people, found out, I think, relatively quickly that he wasn't a great defensive catcher, and maybe that kind of got into his head, affected his play of the plate. Too,
expected his performance batting, you're saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you don't usually see that big of a decline. But obviously we've seen that with him, and everyone's making the Kevin Mass comparisons, or Shane Spencer, guys who had these hot starts and never followed up. But he had a couple all-star years, a couple 30 home run seasons. So it's very shocking to see, spring training underway. Gary Sanchez unsigned. You said that a couple of years ago. At one time, right before he passed away, there was talk that the Yankees might have traded him straight up for Jose Fernandez. We know how good he used to be for Miami, before unfortunately he passed away. So it just shows you how
good
valuable.
Sanchez.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. But baseball spring training underway. Division previews next week. Can't wait, Tony. You are just as excited as me. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Patrick Joel!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by the car! He flattens Jordan's stall! Oh my goodness!
That's the gun right back. Terrified and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliant from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime! McDavid scores! The winner in overtime!
All right, Tony. 6 straight wins for your New York Rangers.
Let's fucking go, dude.
6-4 last night. And I think it's safe to say, due to that late start time there in Canada, Tony, that me and you still feeling the effects this morning after staying up late for that one, both dozing off in the third period. You a little earlier than me. Would you agree, sir?
Yeah, definitely, dude. It was a late night, dude.
Come on, Tony. Come on. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
But it's interesting, though. So while there's an annoyance of that type of start time during the week, I have to say, Friday night, Saturday night, especially if it's one of those nights where you're kind of just chilling, watching some games, not going anywhere.
Right.
I love when they have the West Coast games on the weekend.
Yeah, me too.
It's the best because like live TV late, there's not too many options.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's literally nothing. But yeah, looking at this game, and I definitely have to say, not that I was like bugging, but when you're 5 minutes in and Vancouver puts the first one through the net, Curtis Lazar, his third of the season, I was like, oh, geez, like, are they? I mean, I know they played them tough last time. This is a game, especially with, their goaltender making the first start of his career, coming over from the AHL. I was like, we should dominate. They're getting out to the lead. What the hell is this? But luckily, Mika Zibanejad, Tony, about a minute later, answers with his 28th goal, assisted by Foxy, his 41st assist. He's near the top of the league in assists by defensemen. Obviously, Erik Karlsson leading the way with, I think, 55. But his patented through the goalie's legs. I mean, you really can't get any more textbook than that from Zibanejad.
Oh my God, yeah, it was such a nice, beautiful goal. Again, it's just like such a Zibanejad thing to kind of you Rangers gave up a goal, but Mika comes out on the ice. Like, I think they were still announcing, the name of the goal scorer. And he just kind of takes the game in his hands. He pushes up the right side of the ice. He has a little head fake to the goaltender, makes that goaltender kind of hesitate a little bit. And that 5 holes open. He just rips a wrister right past him, dude. Just literally textbook Mika. You love to see that.
Yeah, Mika is really one of the best. Now, he used to be on the Canucks.
The Senators.
I don't know why was he on any other team or was it just the Senators?
I don't think so. I think it was just the Senators, dude.
Okay. I don't know. They were making some reference that he was. I don't know why they were saying oh, he's pumped up to play tonight, and they were predicting it. I think Joe Micheletti actually said it. That he
drafted by Ottawa here.
Career stats. Okay. Yeah, just Ottawa. Okay. No, any of the Rangers a former Canuck or no? Not that you.
A former Canuck. No.
Okay.
Trooper was on Winnipeg.
What team was Panarin on?
Before us, Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, that was his 28th. That tied the game at 1. And then Artemi Panarin with his 5th goal in the last 2 games, his 17th, assisted by VC and Trocheck. So that gave the Rangers 2-1 lead. JT Miller, Sam Rosen referenced it several times in the broadcast last night. Former 2011 first-round pick by the Rangers, his 19th on a power play, tying it at 2. Elias Peterson, guy we've talked about before, his 40th assist. Quinn Hughes has 46 as well, so another name to watch there. But it was funny, the second goal of the game for Panarin, roughly about 3 minutes later, and it was one where, Nico Mikkola actually shot it, but it just happened to graze off of his stick into the net. What do you think about that? I mean, I guess what else are you going to do? But I don't know. To me, just looking at that play, I know it's different when Kreider's near the net and it's skill, he's angling it to tap it in, but on like almost an accidental goal there. What do you think about him getting credit for that goal? I mean, do you think it just you don't really have a choice? Because I mean, it just would be weird to give it to Mikola if it didn't hit his stick last.
Yeah, you don't have a choice, dude. Just the way
So
it is.
18th goal. So now that makes it 6 goals, Tony, in the last 2 games for Panarin. You know, obviously the 4-goal game, the previous one. So that made it 3-2 Rangers. And that's all the scoring we had in the first. On to the second, Chris Kreider. And, you know, I think it was, Joe Micheletti mentioning this, that he's kind of seems like he's heating up. Recently, his 22nd goal, you know, assisted by Tarasenko and Zibanejad. So that made it 4-2. But Connor Garland, about 9 minutes later, with his 11th goal, so that, you know, closed the deficit to 4-3. But then Keandre Miller, his 6th goal of the year, unassisted, made it 5-3 Rangers. That's all we had for the second period. On to the third. You know, almost halfway through, we didn't have any scoring, but then Kuzmenko, with his 23rd goal, made it 5-4. So that's where you thought, oh, here we go again. Another tight game with Vancouver. Now you really got to be on their heels. And I don't know if Shesterkin was sleeping on that one. But you didn't expect them to close the deficit there to 1 goal. But they are able to play solid defense for the next 10 minutes or so. And then Mika, empty netter, his 29th, capping off the victory, Tony. 6-4, 6 straight wins for the New York Rangers in a stellar 16-5 record away from the Garden. So, you know, they've done a good job on the road all season long. And just especially lately, just the tendency to just take care of business and something that they failed to do earlier in the year. And I don't know, you know, if the energy that they've gotten from these trades has helped. We know this streak started slightly before they made the trade for Mikola and Tarasenko. Nevertheless, it's a nice win, you know, with another busy weekend coming up with games, you know, on tomorrow and Saturday. But overall, I mean, you got to just be really happy with this win. Pulls them within 1 point of the Tampa Bay Lightning, who actually fell to the Coyotes. We were talking about that before the show. So moving their way up the ladder, giving themselves some separation from Pittsburgh. They're now up 9 points on them. A lot to be excited about for fans like us of the New York Rangers.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you look at this game. You know, I don't know. I think it is kind of funny because I think Shesterkin was a little bit kind of off of his game. You know, I know a couple of these plays, a couple of these goals, like one came on the power play, one came right. Technically, it was off the power play, but it was basically while the Rangers, it was just as the power play was finishing up. So it kind of still was like, And I think one play too, he had lost his stick. I think it was a JT Miller play, actually. Shesterkin lost his stick, and of course, Miller recognizes that and you know, slaps a shot right over his, you know, right side blocker where his stick would have been, you know. So kind of smart play by him. But I think Igor looked a little bit slow last night. Even that first goal he gave up, it seemed like he should have had it. But nonetheless, I mean, listen, that's what great teams do. You know, they have some guys have bad nights. Everyone has a bad night. The rest of your team, you know, kind of picks you up, and that's kind of what happened here. You saw like some great like transitions from defense to offense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that second Zibanejad goal, or no, the second Panarin goal, maybe.
Well, the Panarin goal was the tap in.
Oh yeah, so it was the first Panarin goal.
Yeah.
Jimmy Vesey and Trocheck were just literally just driving up the ice, and it was cool because I was talking about how well Jimmy Vesey's been doing in terms of having that high hockey IQ, and you see like Trocheck kind of dangling his way through the neutral zone, entering the Canucks zone, and you know Miller's just kind of like trailing right behind him, just like kind of waiting for that just for a quick short pass to give some room. And Trocheck actually mishandles the puck and drops it, and VC luckily is right there to pick it up. And of course, having those two guys on one side of the ice, you know, that you saw Canucks defenseman kind of crashing there, left Panarin wide open in the slot. And, you know, Jimmy's VC found him quite easily. Same thing with Kreider's goal too. I mean, I think you saw like a really good defensive play. I think Lindgren maybe blocked a shot. Maybe it was Lindgren. I forget. Or maybe it was Miller. You know, they blocked a shot while the Canucks were pushing. And then all of a sudden it's a 3-on-2 going the other way. And you got Kreider, you got Zibanejad, and you had Tarasenko going there. I mean, that was like a surefire goal right there. And it was, you know, Kreider ended up with his 22nd. So you saw like really great pushes, even the Miller goal too. I mean, Trouba was deep in the Canucks zone, just kind of like, biding his way around, of course, creating a lot of attention on him. And the puck kind of just like slips out, and Miller's right there who takes the opportunity, to kind of put it over the glove side. And I mean, those are just like great, team oriented shifts and obviously like goals. Like those are great results to see. And it just seems like in this game, the Rangers were doing almost everything right, offensively and for the most part defensively. There was still, I think there were some issues, with maybe the fourth line playing some defense in terms of their forwards, even like Lindgren. I don't know. There was a lot of, I know he ended up even on the ice, but he was on the ice for a couple goals given up, obviously on the ice too for a couple goals scored, I should say. But still, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, he was kind of lacking a little bit last night. But again, I mean, Lindgren, I mean, you've seen him and how well he blocks shots and throws his body around. So I think just maybe an off night for him, an off night for Shesterkin, which is why you kind of saw Vancouver score, 4 times, which I think is a lot. But yeah, like you were saying, like Brian was saying, I mean, you got to really be happy to be a Ranger fan right now. I mean, 32, 14, and 8 at this point. And, I think, from what they started, from the tough stretches they were going through, not even be able to beat Chicago, who, was given, minus 650 to Toronto over
Renee
there.
and Michael.
Wow, I didn't see Michael behind Renee. Wow.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot is right. I will say there's a guy on Vancouver who really impressed me. Kuzmenko. And I was doing some research on him, and it seems like he's undrafted.
Yep.
27 years old. He's got 23 goals, 24 assists on the season, first year in the league.
Wow.
So I don't know like what his deal is. I mean, it's so weird. I've never seen anything like that. Rookie, obviously, this season, right? I'm saying first year in the league. Nothing in terms of, I don't know if he played like he's from Russia, right? So I don't know if he played in some like Russian league, but there's no, like, he's never played minors. This is his first year in the league, and he's like killing it, dude. 27 years old, left winger, absolutely killing it there. So I guess maybe, Vancouver kind of having this Kuzmenko a little bit under the radar, obviously trying to build upon him, I guess, him and Pedersen.
Interesting.
So that's pretty interesting. You think about, they give it Bo Horvat for some pieces. I think Bouvillier, by the way, who came over from the Islanders in that trade, had an assist last night. I don't know. Maybe Vancouver's trying to cook something up.
Yeah, but it just makes you wonder. I mean, I guess obviously it's more than just a couple key pieces, but you think about having Horvath, with Peterson, with Kuzmenko. It's like, why were they not better to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question. I mean, I think they had some head coaching problems. I think they fired their head coach, and I don't know, dude.
Yeah. So interesting stuff for sure. And just kind of taking a quick look at the other games last night. The historic minus 650 game goes the favorites' way there.
Thank God, Brian.
As the Maple Leafs 5-2 over Chicago, 3 goals in the first period for Toronto. Austin Matthews in the first period, his 26th goal, in his second game back from that injury, or first game back. So that was a welcome sight for them. And, you beat Chicago. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
And they're a team that the Rangers are chasing, but they are now 33-14, including a nice 21-6 mark at home. Some of the other games here, how about Arizona squeaking by in a shootout over the Lightning?
Yeah, you like that, Brian?
Very interesting with the Lightning. It seems like, and tell me if I'm wrong here, Tony, but that at home they're as tough as it gets to play, but on the road it's like it's anybody's game every time that they're playing. Even though they're a upper echelon team, the road struggles. It's not quite Golden State Warriors this year in the NBA, but it's not great. 14-12.
Ooh, really? 14-12 on the road?
But 35-16 overall. Think about that. Only 4 home losses.
Yeah, only 4 home losses, 12 of them on the road. That's interesting, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you think about the Lightning too. Lightning, great fan base. Maybe they just, is that the atmosphere that really gets them going?
And then, you look at the Coyotes. How about Connor Ingram, the backup tender, pitching the shutout? I said a terrible year this year, but 47 out of 47. And the Coyotes at home have actually played well, 12-8-2, but 19-28, overall. So obviously struggling, on
Those
on
facilities,
the road.
Brian.
The facilities, yeah.
Arizona State University psychs people out.
Clayton Keller with the game winner here in the shootout. So congratulations to the Coyotes. We had two other tight games here. We saw Detroit in a shootout, 5-4 over Edmonton.
Yeah,
so maybe,
baby.
a little second half surge here for Detroit. They've kind of had trouble this year finding that consistency. But I think, in Edmonton, I mean, that's a pretty impressive win here for the Red Wings. And, maybe there's something that they have, moving forward. Dylan Larkin scoring again. He had the first goal of the game on a power play, his 21st. And they did a good job defensively, holding McDavid at bay. Draisaitl had the one goal, and Nugent Hopkins actually with 2 goals, 25 and 26. But once again, the defense letting Edmonton down as they lose this one. And then that game, it was the second game on TNT. We saw the Avalanche hang in there, and I was just riled about this one. 3-2 over the Wild. But the fact that they went tender back-to-back games. Gorgie started, yesterday in that loss against the Lightning. Rebounds to this game against the Wild. And you look at his numbers from this one, obviously only allowing the 2 goals here, but he was 41 out of 43. And that's
nice, dude.
Second night of a back-to-back. So I think
that's saves for him.
That's perfect, perfect evidence. Just that it's doable. It's, you got to have the right guy. And I think, a younger guy like Gorgiev, it makes a lot of sense, and it gets Colorado a win. They're now 29-19, fighting in that tough Western Conference. Nathan McKinnon, who's missed some time here, but did have his 18th goal of the year last year. So between the strong play of Gorgiev, guys coming back, Makar will be back eventually. I think things are trending in the right direction for Colorado.
Yeah. Kel Makar's out, you say?
Yeah, but
Tough
it's not
injuries,
like
not crazy, but still, missing
a guy like Cale Makar.
Cale Makar is huge. Missing a guy like McKinnon is also huge, and to kind of have that, have it both in the same season. I mean, it sucks, dude.
Yeah.
And Colorado's kind of struggling with some injuries.
And then, of course, but you do have Rantanen as well, who's played very well. And speaking of playing very well, the Sabres all over the Ducks here on the road, 7-3,
dude.
Last night, Tage Thompson, Tony, with his 36th goal of the year, a power play goal in the first. So nice to see the Sabres, who have been struggling a little bit, with picking up this win here. Still kind of, though, the same type of sentiment for you, Tony, moving forward with them, that, maybe they'll finish over 500, but you just can't see them sneaking their way into the playoffs.
Correct.
Shame, though. I would love to see Thompson on the big stage, though.
I know, me too. How about you look at these stats for this game? Buffalo, 7 hits, Anaheim, 10 hits.
Wow.
Probably some of the lowest physicality I've seen in a game this season.
What do you think that is? Body clock?
Stop,
dude.
Dude. No, I think it's more about these two teams. I don't know. I mean, both these teams just play more of like I guess you could say fundamental. I would imagine they're playing just the puck more than the body.
Body clock.
No body clock, Brian.
What was that, though?
They're playing the puck.
All right. 8 games. So we could do a little bonanza here, Tony.
Wow, dude.
8 games. We're gonna go, 4 apiece. And I am actually, while you're telling us your first pick, I'm gonna put you down for Fairleigh Dickinson here with the +2. I got the old SHU -2 here. So big game. Now, are you just working the camera, or what's your role today?
TD, dude.
Technical
director.
Oh,
kind of like doing that,
switch.
Doing that,
Run the switch.
Yeah, there was I think someone on the line. The producer has COVID or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Freddie in the house today?
Should be Freddie Randy.
Freddie and Randy is
Brochu, the voice of Sacred Heart Pioneers.
No, I'm just because I just don't know about him.
Know,
connection to the school. What's his?
Graduate alumni of the school. Obviously went there to be a broadcaster.
Long time.
Oh, geez. I mean,
voice.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure, shortly after graduation, it was he started doing games.
Okay.
Also does UConn hockey and baseball.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he's dude. He's a huge Red Sox fan.
Have you got a chance to talk to Freddie this year?
Like at any point?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
How's he doing?
He's doing great, dude. He's, I actually tell him how good he does on ESPN radio.
You
do? Because I was like, when you fill in for Max Kellerman, like I was so happy when you used to do it because I'd be like in the middle of the day, like I'd turn the radio, it's like you in for Max Kellerman. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. Have you heard it? I haven't heard his show in a long time.
No, I mean his actual show is on like midnight or like 11 p.m.
Yeah, he likes that. Though.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I don't know what he does during the day, but I mean, at least I know he does Sacred Heart, basketball games. He's been doing hockey too.
Okay.
Sacred Heart hockey, and I didn't realize he could do hockey.
Yeah.
Because you don't really hear him talk about it on his show. But dude, he's great. He's really good.
So yeah, no, I always, thought he did a pretty good job. And me and Matt, used to watch him on First Take all the time.
He's so funny, dude. So professional. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he is.
He's just so anything you throw at him, he just rolls with it, and he makes it sound great. It's awesome.
Smooth like butter. Like one of his famous sayings. But that being said, 8 games, 4 apiece. What do you got to lead us off, Tony?
I'm sorry. I just I was just fanboying
off
over here.
The rails.
Yeah.
Off the rails,
dude. All right, first game. Dude, the Red Wings on the back-to-back against Calgary. I don't know, the overtime, the shootout, dude. The tired legs over there. Give me the Devils tonight, actually. I feel like the Devils, I don't know. I feel like I haven't taken them in a little while here. But they're playing the Blues. And the Blues actually beat them earlier in January, 5-3. I think very uncharacteristic of the Devils. I think Binnington had a really good game that game, and Devils weren't really able to get much offense going. But you look at the Devils now, at least in the last 5 games, they've won 4 of the last 5 games. Of course, having a relatively easy schedule, I suppose. They beat Columbus, they beat Vancouver, they did beat Dallas, though, and they beat Seattle as well. St. Louis, lost 3 out of their last 5 games, getting shut out, actually, by Arizona. And I just feel like at this point, I understand. I think Jack Hughes is still day-to-day, but I think he's been playing. I'm definitely going to hit the daily face-off, dude.
Bless you.
Bless you. Looks like all these games, Olmark, Hellberg, Vanacek, unconfirmed, of course. Everything's unconfirmed. That's totally fine, though. Give me the Devils here. I think they're looking for some revenge against that unfortunate loss. They're going for Binnington's head, Brian. I'll say Devils, let's say 4-1.
Speaking of going for someone's head, I think it's going to get pretty ugly at PNC Arena tonight. Hurricanes versus the Canadiens, Tony. And I know, the Canadiens, I guess if you're comparing to last year too, have been a little more competitive this year. But Hurricanes, different class. So I think they're going to blitz them, similar to the Rangers' approach in the first quarter last night against Vancouver. So I could see them putting up 3 in the first, maybe 1 each in the second and the third, and having a nice, easy, and as Freddie Coleman would say late night on ESPN Radio, smooth like butter, Tony, 5-1 victory.
All right, dude. My next game. Let's see, dude. I'm still so tempted just to take the Red Wings right now.
Just take them.
You going 4s? Are we going 4s?
4s. What do you got?
Give me the Jets, dude. I'll take the Jets over there in Columbus. Winnipeg only minus 210. I feel like that's one of those games that should be minus like 500. Honestly, dude. Columbus, just absolute dog shit of a team.
A dog.
No, they're not. There's no tight dog here, buddy. They've getting absolutely trashed here. Toronto, they lost 3-0. Seattle 3-1. New Jersey 3-2. Obviously, we know about Winnipeg. Kind of fighting with Dallas here to be the best in the West. So give me Winnipeg here. I think Hellebuck should be at least slated to start. Connor Hellebuck, yes, and Jonas Corpusalo confirmed for Columbus. Interesting, dude. Because he's not Corpusalo, 3.33 goals against on average 8-10-3, 909 save percentage, pretty solid. But Hellbuck, that 924 save percentage has to be probably like close to be leading the league. It's fourth in the league. Anyway, dude, just give me Winnipeg here. I would say, give me 2-0. 2-0. Connor Hellbuck shutout, fourth of the year.
Nice. And
nice.
Could you go down to the Predators Bruins game?
Yeah, I'll do whatever you want me to do, dude.
Mark,
Wow. What are you doing? What are you doing?
1-0 Bruins.
Wow.
Overtime. The goalies, the all-star goalies, dueling it out here. But Pastrnak, what a better way for his 40th goal in overtime as the Bruins 1-0 over Nashville. Hammer, Tony, the under.
Hammer. What's the over-under set at?
What
if it was like half a goal? And then what?
It's not going to be half a goal. Come on. If I had to guess.
4.5?
No, I think it's 6. It is 5.5.
Oof. Yeah, maybe we should start guessing some hockey lines, dude. Think about that.
It gets a little crazy.
It's so crazy, man. All right, dude. I'm surprised you haven't taken the Sharks yet.
Is it a trap game?
I don't know. We talk about Carson, dude. A little foreshadow here.
You're just trying to force it.
No, I'm gonna force this. Red Wings in Calgary. Fuck Calgary.
Wow.
They have had 3 losses out of the last 5 games. One of them actually to the Red Wings. They lost 2-1 earlier this month. Not even less than 10 days ago. They lost the Red Wings 2-1. And when you really look at that game, I understand. They whatever stupid ad. I understand obviously in this game. Husso, 35 saves on 36 shots. It's the back-to-back now. Who are they going to be starting? Magnus Hellberg could be starting for the Detroit Red Wings. But I really don't care, honestly. I think this is a great game for Magnus Hellberg. And I'll tell you why in a second, because Calgary, having issues to score. They were having, I feel like, some issues in terms of scoring. Again, that loss to Detroit, they only scored once. What else we got? I mean, against the Rangers, they scored 4 times, but, it was a crazy game. They lost to Ottawa, only scored 3 times. I just feel like this guy, Magnus over here, it's 3-4-1 in the season, 2.63 goals against on average, 901 save percentage. I know it hasn't had a ton of looks because Husso's has been doing so well. And honestly, who knows? They may even go Husso in the back-to-back. Who knows? Because Detroit, honestly, obviously, they're going to be off tomorrow. And I think they're off Saturday too, actually. Yeah, so, you never know. But even so, give me the Red Wings here. I'll keep it tight, just like last game. I'll say 3-2.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what you pick next.
Kind of the element of surprise there, Tony.
Dude, the Red Wings.
Because, you think, back to back, they're not going to win, all of that. And it's funny, you didn't set me up for it. I was already waiting to take the Sharks, Tony, but I just wanted to get that Bruins pick in first because you've been off your game with the Bruins. It was, I think, intentionally too.
It's not intentionally, dude. It's just like, sometimes, they had a couple of losses. I got a lot of them, and, maybe I'll get back. I don't know.
But you're already,
but maybe they'll be your new favorite. Brian's favorite team.
But you're speaking to Erik Karlsson and the great year he's having, 73 points, Tony.
It's kind of ridiculous.
As Micheletti said last night, every time you look up, a goal and assist, and I think he has that tonight in Vegas, and his buddy Timo Meier helps him out with a goal as well. And I'm going to say 2-1 Sharks in overtime. Karlsson, the game winner. How about that, Tony?
Trap game. I'm telling you, dude. The last time I think you picked against the Knights too, they kind of bit you in the ass, dude.
But I'll do it again. Whatever.
Yep. All right, dude. I guess another game for me, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't see this Flyers Kraken down below. So we have Flyers Kraken or Panthers Caps.
Also, by the way, everybody, I just looked at my phone. I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but Bitcoin over 25K. Haven't seen that one in a while.
So now?
No.
Buy now?
Hey, buy. Of course, buy. It was sell. Are you kidding? Yeah, we're less than halfway from the peak, but let's sell now, Tony.
I mean, maybe you bought in when it was down.
Oh, yeah.
That, dude.
I mean, everybody. Well, you get it.
All right, dude. So anyway, back to the sports, Brian.
You're taking the Flyers. Torts. I already know.
No, you're
So
fucking
I'll tell
wrong.
you,
Taking the
you're-
Panthers. Bug off, Brian.
You were gonna take the Flyers if I didn't.
No,
say
I
it.
really wasn't. Ovechkin out still. Come on, dude.
All right. But I think that's a trap game. I think just because of you thinking that, that's when the Caps step up. TJ Oshie.
Oh,
playing in the
stop it,
Olympics
dude. No,
way
yeah, that was
back
like
when.
5 to 8 years ago,
Probably
dude.
8 years ago,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it was 8 years ago. I don't care. Chuck Verhaeghe, dude. We know Bobrovsky's been playing really well too. Even if Spencer Knight's in there, I don't give a shit. Spencer Knight, Darien, Connecticut, I believe.
Right.
Right. Wow, dude, you're kind of hard on Spencer Knight, huh?
No, he had a really good run, and then he's just kind of blown it, honestly.
Well, I mean, isn't that just like the story of Connecticut, really? Anyway, dude, give me Florida Panthers here. 4-2. I'm kidding. I like Connecticut.
Never stops. Just never
Never
stops.
stop. Look in the mirror, Brian. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Torts in the Flyers.
Yeah, I think you should trap game. Kraken, let's go.
Yeah. Kraken suck. No. No, but honestly, I don't. The Flyers, I know. Look at the Flyers, right? No, but I just think they're not going to win a playoff series, and I think they're going to have a respectable record at the end of the year. But I just flawed team. I think susceptible to upset losses, and this is a perfect example of that, Tony. That's all I could give you there.
Yes. Are they home? Where are they? Flyers? Kraken's home in Seattle.
Yeah. So body clock, but they'll manage.
The body clock thing, I don't think really works. Honestly, I don't see it.
But a couple of things here before we wrap up. The first, our favorite segment, if you would play the music and the bite, Tony.
Oh, music and the bite. You want the bite first or the music first?
Bite first, then music. The Prism Pack Reveal. Are we bringing in Michael for this?
I think we should, right?
Any predictions, sir?
I forgot that we got the headphones back over here.
Yeah, dude.
Sounds dope.
Does it sound dope?
I mean, I hit it on the head with Edwards yesterday.
LaMelo.
I said it
Said
to
that
Tony
this morning.
earlier.
He did
Didn't
say
hear
that.
it. I just
No, but I'm saying.
I'm just
that
saying that's how
means
connected we are.
We're manifesting it here.
LaMelo.
Little less arms, Brian.
never for Barnes.
All right. Here we go. Let's see what we got here, boys. One of Michael's personal favorites. I was watching him on the nationally televised game last night on ESPN from the University of Kentucky, Tyrese Maxey.
He's great. He's going to be great.
Is this a different card?
Yes. The other one, he's in a blue Kentucky jersey.
A blue Kentucky jersey.
Love it. So that's a good way to
dude.
start.
Michael knows his cards.
I still don't know how to say this guy's name. We've had it before. We talked about him being up and coming. We talked about him being from the University of Southern Cal. Onyeka Aku. Do you anything there? Could you give me? Could you offer any
I got to see when I go over there.
But
Tony, you got to get this guy's name. I want to hear what it really sounds like.
You need a spelling or it'll come up. And then it's OK
ONG.
ONGWU. Okay. Go to Basketball Reference. Right there. So
Onyeka Okongwu.
Okay.
Okongwu.
Okay. Onyeka Okonwu.
Onyeka Okongwu.
Numbers are decent. He's spelling Clint Capella.
Yeah.
So I think he's up and coming. He's only 22 years old. I think you're a little excited there. No, Michael?
Yeah, I am. He's on Atlanta.
He is on Atlanta. Yeah.
Nice. Good.
So
That's dope.
he'll be their future starting center.
Dude, first of all, do you guys talk about this? We'll talk slam dunk contest.
Oh, yeah.
Jericho Sims.
Yeah, we'll finish up with that. For the third day in a row, I could say from France, Killian
Wow.
Hayes.
He's going to be a stud.
Yeah, we like him.
He is.
So that great pack so far. And did we not realize that this is a crusade card? I just realized that.
That's definitely more.
Yeah. So we
When
love
you
to see that.
grade them, Tony.
A hot pack.
grade
A very hot pack. This is something that I have to say I've never seen before.
Whoa.
So we just had some practice on the name. I already forgot how to say it.
Oh.
But Onyeka Ngakwu, again, different
Nice.
card.
Oh, cool.
So
That's
that
pretty neat.
They
dude.
know something we don't. He's going to be good.
Crusade card as well, Mike.
Yeah.
So 2 Crusade cards. And I think this is for the third day in a row as well. From I think it's Argentina. Denny Adviva.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I'm guessing here, Michael,
LaMelo's coming.
LaMelo's coming, but you're most energized, I guess, by the maxi card.
Yeah, you know what I think is gonna happen. Remember when you were thinking about LeBron? I think we're gonna get a signed LaMelo bonus card.
Wow, that would be. I mean, we're due for LaMelo. There was somebody. You know what I'm like? There was somebody else we had never gotten, and then we got him like late in the packs. You know what I'm talking about from the last batch? I don't know who it was, but I feel like we were talking about it forever. And I don't know if it was Edwards, if that's who it was, that we hadn't got him, or we had one originally, and then towards the end, like a couple.
I can't remember.
I think that's what it was. But it's a perfect segue. So another great pack. But you were mentioning All-Star Weekend, which will get underway, I guess, tomorrow with the celebrity game. Saturday, being the skills competitions.
That's right.
So we'll kind of just give you a synopsis of who's competing here. They just announced
the dunk contest is going to be electric. I'm telling you that right now. Because did you see who's participating? It's a lot of no names.
Jericho Sims.
Jericho Sims is going to win. Nick, he's a pogo stick. They call him the human pogo stick. And then
he's like really tall and skinny.
No, because he jumps like a pogo stick.
Dude, when's the last time you been on a pogo stick? I know, right?
20 plus years.
Like those things were crazy back then. I don't know when plays with them anymore.
But here, so let's
could have been better.
So
really?
I wanted to go like over fences.
We'll
like
start
6 feet.
in sequence of the way they do these competitions. So we always start with the skills challenge. This is moved to a team event. So I think it's three teams that they have here. So Team Antetokounmpo, obviously, Giannis, Thanasis, and Alex.
Giannis.
Who I guess is playing for no. Okay, he's in the G League.
He was in the Lakers, I thought.
No, that was Costas, who I think has played in this. But so that's Team.
There's another one too.
Yeah,
there's one more.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
But not in the NBA. He's like really short too.
He's no.
No.
He's big. He's a senior in high school though.
Really? You sure?
Yes.
Unbelievable. And then Team Jazz is going to be Jordan Clarkson, Walker Kessler, and Colin Sexton. So I think that's a pretty good lineup. Guys who are quick. And then from the Team Rookies, but from the Orlando Magic, Paulo Banchero, Michael's guy. From the Pistons, Jaden Ivey, and from the Rockets, Jabari Smith Jr. Looking at that though, I gotta go with the Antetokounmpos. No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The brothers are overrated.
The brothers.
They shouldn't even be in the fucking
is
league.
Not terrible as a rotational defensive player. He's good on defense. He is.
I know, but I don't need that.
I feel like you're scarred because he was on the Knicks, right?
I don't care about it. No. I just hate defensive-minded players.
Moving on here. The 3-point contest. We got Halliburton, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Kevin Herter, Dame Lillard, Lauri Markkanen, Anthony Simmons, Jason Tatum. Without thinking about it, Tony, go first. Who's winning? Go.
Tatum.
Lillard.
Markkanen.
On
the big stage, the hometown guy.
Larry Bird.
Yeah, I love that. And then finishing off the slam dunk contest. You mentioned Jericho Sims, Trey Murphy from the Pelicans.
He's got bounce.
Mac McClung, the former Laker
First of all,
for the Sixers, and Kenyon Martin Jr. What are you saying? He's not really even playing this year?
He's not in the league, is he?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's back and forth between the G League, but
dude, Kenyon Martin Jr., that's cool. Kenyon Martin's son.
Yeah.
Jericho Sims has crazy bounce, trust me, and so does that other dude, like Zion bounce.
Yeah.
From New Orleans.
And you know what I just feel like is a shame, and I know they want to pump up the less heralded younger guys, and I get it.
Yeah,
Giannis isn't going to be in the dunk contest, but you still should be able to get like at least like the upper middle echelons of players. Why can't we get that?
Dude, I don't know.
They have the money. They don't care.
No one cares.
Is that simple?
No one cares anymore. No one loves the game. They just love the money and the.
Besides Giannis and Embiid.
Yeah, and Lillard.
And Lillard. He's having another great year. Trae Young, I don't like Trae Young. But didn't you not like him before the whole Knicks series like that?
No, even when he was in college.
Yeah.
When he was dropping 25 and 25.
I always thought he just shot too
25
much,
assists.
I know what that means.
So
I thought I meant 25 points, 25 steals.
So before we just take a quick look at the games tonight, just want to say
back-to-back 25-point games.
I did expect this, but I was impressed by the second half adjustment here. But the Sixers were all over the Cleveland Cavaliers, up 14 after 1.
I knew it.
They were up 24 at the half, but only ended up winning by 6 due to defensive adjustments made by the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell led the way for them, 33 points. Embiid, 29 and 14. So just another big game. I guess his foot, he's been questionable 12 games in a row. So I guess he's not 100%. Said he's not sure if he can play in the All-Star game. So maybe that opens up an avenue for like Jalen Brunson or something. We'll see. But this Cavs team is great. This snapped their winning streak. But I do really think that Philly does seem like a slightly different team this year in terms of I think they're going to be more successful in the postseason. Obviously Harden's a key. Last night only took 11 shots, 19 points, 12 assists though, so he's doing a good job in that area. Tobias Harris, a solid all-around player, 13 last night. PJ Tucker hit a couple threes as well. They shot 48% from three-point range, so I think that will translate into the postseason. What do you think, Michael? Is there a chance Philadelphia can make a run here, make it to a final?
Oof, a finals?
Conference finals? Doc, is it really? Are you that concerned about Doc? Is that make a big difference here or no?
No, the team's not that good.
Oh, really? Oh. What about Maxey? Oh, the adjustment there.
What about Maxey?
No, but I'm saying, so you don't think like a starting? I guess he didn't start this game, but you get the point here. Maxey, Harden, Embiid, Harris, and then PJ Tucker to D up and hit a couple threes. That's not that good in your eyes?
Could be better.
Better finish this year, Cavs or Sixers in the playoffs?
Better finish, Cavs.
Wow.
Cavs.
It's amazing what a job they've done retooling that team. Trading
Getting
for Mitchell,
ready for LeBron and Bronny.
Guys, Evan Mobley. So it's really it's impressive what they've done there.
Do the Lakers go on a run?
They did get the win last night.
Did you see them? They look better.
I watched most of the game. It was on the other TV while I was watching the Rangers.
That's ridiculous.
I love Russell. It's a shame though they didn't get these guys sooner. I mean, but they keep talking about, I think going into last night, 4 games out of 5th place, but 5 games under 500. But the whole team looked energized. So I guess if, they got a shot here, but they're going to, I think, end up being like a 9 or a 10 seed though, and have to really do some work to even get a first round series. But I think given limited assets, I think you can admit
this. Mikal Bridges last night?
Yes, I did 45 points. But
yes.
Given limited assets, could you say they did way beyond what you could ever imagine in terms of the acquisitions? Hachimura, Russell, Bamba. I think they did a really good job getting Wood Westbrook. They didn't give up a lot. That's the point I'm making. You're bringing in younger talent. A big upgrade from what you were working with prior. Malik Beasley and Vanderbilt are making contributions as well. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're going to win the title. I'm just saying in terms of retooling the roster mid-season, they did as good as they can.
No, 100%.
So we'll see if they're able to do anything. And I know, how you feel about this, but I have to mention it. Once again, impressed with the Knicks, Michael. Beat the Hawks. And I know we talked about Trey. He was 4 of 14 from the field. But Jalen Brunson, another great game, 28 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Randall, 25 and 11. And I know, the Hawks are a 500 team here. But let me tell you, I have a good feeling. And I think, you even acknowledge, Hart is a really good player, having that chemistry with Brunson. I'm calling this right now. The Knicks will win a first round playoff series. And I know you want the championship, eye roll, all of that. I get it. But I'm just saying, not many people would say that, and I'm guaranteeing it, Michael. I'm just telling you, there's talent there. They're playing the best I've seen them play since the series with the Hawks. Right now, they are. So, however you want to poo-poo it, championship, I get it. Yankee mentality, I understand it, Michael. But I'm just saying,
at least you understand it's not a Mets mentality.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not a losing mentality. Tony, I mean, can you offer us anything here, sport?
Yeah, just talk to me after the World Series this season, dude. And then we'll see who the fucking losers are, dude.
Oh, come on.
As Michael watches Walk the Irish for the 4th time in the past 12 hours.
All right, Tony. So 2 things before we go.
For me?
First, there's only 3 games tonight. Just read them off for me, NBA. I just want to give the fans what they want.
Okay, first game. 7:30 TNT. Start them late. Speaking of Giannis and the Antetokounmpo family, you have the Milwaukee Bucks rolling into Chicago. We just played their theme song for you. Actually, pretty even records in terms of on the road and away for both these teams. Bulls 16-12 at home. Bucks 16-12 away. Milwaukee -8.
Milwaukee running away. Both teams on a back-to-back. But I'm going to say 125 to 109. So that would actually be the over. Just because of that high power Bucks offense. Holiday, Antetokounmpo, they've been doing such a good job, and I think their strong play continues here, Tony. 41st victory of the season. So over Bucks -8. What do you got for me?
All right, next game, 8:00 now. We have the Washington Wizards going into Minnesota. That's right. This isn't a hockey game. It's basketball as the Timberwolves are taking on the Wizards. Porzingis here averaging 23 points per game. People asking if he wants to go to the Knicks back again. I don't know, dude. Against our guy, Anthony Edwards, the prison pack guy. Minnesota -3, over under 234.5. Brian, what do you think?
Edwards, 45 points.
Wow.
Wizards by 10. 125 to 115. Hitting the over. Wizards +3. Porzingis, 30-point triple-double. Chance of is he going to the Knicks? Begin.
Wow, dude. Anthony Edwards says in the post-game interview, my Prism card will be worth the most. 10:00 now we're going to on TNT. The West Coast game, we're going to be in Phoenix. We have the Suns taking on the LA Clippers, dude, at the Footprint Center. That's what their center's called?
Yeah.
Oh,
Kevin Durant.
dude. Kevin Durant here.
Not back yet.
Not
return
back
after the break.
yet. Phoenix still given -1. Over under is the lowest of all 3 games tonight at 222.5.
222.
Wow. Wow, Brian.
So under the 222. And honestly, we haven't used this term in a while, but please, all of you out there that are looking for some type of wager on the NBA tonight, hammer the Suns here. This is the lock of the night, Tony. I'm going to say 120 to 90. I think Kawhi will end up not playing. And I know, the Clippers, the revamped roster, Bones Highland in town. Are you a big Bones guy, Michael?
No.
But yeah, I think this is your lock of the night. And the Suns, the fan base, the team itself, energized by the presence of Kevin Durant there. So I really like that team moving forward. And even until he's ready, a game like tonight, the Clippers, I just think they're going to take care of business here. Hammer the Phoenix Suns, Tony.
Wow. Well, there you have it, dude. NBA lineup.
Unbelievable. I feel like we just fired right through it. I know 3 games versus what was it, 10 yesterday?
10 yesterday, Jesus.
Cheez-Its.
But Cheez-Its and all, that being said,
love Cheez-Its.
the only thing for me anyway, on the way out here, I just want to mention leaderboard update. I think the most holes everyone's through is 6 at this point.
Wow.
But 2 of the guys who have played 6 holes tied for the lead here. So we got Thomas Dietrich, Peter Molinari, who was in contention at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am at -2, and joined by John Rahm, who's played 3 holes starting on the back, and Matt Kuchar. So very early on here, but of course, Rahm near the top of another leaderboard. Tiger Woods, though, we're about a little less than 4 hours away for him making his 2023 PGA Tour debut, joined, like we said, by Rory and Justin Thomas. So I cannot wait to watch that, and I can't wait to give everybody a leaderboard update tomorrow morning. But that being said, Tony, anything else here, as we come to a close?
On the way out, I mean, I don't think so. If you guys haven't seen our gaming corner for Monday night, Madden, NFL 23, dude, absolute great time here with Michael, Brian, and I. The Sally's Pizza. We were playing for 2 hours, dude. If you guys haven't checked out the gaming corner, go check it out.
And Tony, as he said, I think yesterday or the day before, the most fun in his entire life that he's had playing Madden.
Yeah,
and I know Michael would attest to that for Monday night.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Oh my
Michael.
God. But a classic episode.
Waxing.
Not to mention all the other episodes of Gaming Corner that we've had recently. So definitely check those out. All-time classic. Not to mention, yesterday's episode of or was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
2 days ago, episode
Tuesday.
of Screen Time. And the other screen times out there, The Dream is Free, the vlogs, all of that. So definitely check that out on our YouTube page, as well as the merch, downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the golf, and we will see you.
Oh, the golf.
Today is a golfing day.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.